let's make some baked macaroni.
Let's make macaroni. Oh my God! That scared me.
All right. Live your life right.
You won't be scared. No. That's a big mama.
So we're going to do a cheese sauce, okay?
Cheese sauce.
And our cheese sauce, we're going to use some heavy cream.
Heavy cream.
Can you say heavy cream?
Heavy cream. It's white.
It is white.
It's green.
Oh.
Mickey Meow. Kimberly Creations. And it says, yes, that much. Oh my God! It's under here. That you cannot bend. I got over there. Mommy!
That's me?
Yeah.
We only need a little bit, okay? It's a little bit. Okay. That's good. That's good. Yes, that much seasoning.
Yes, I'm seeing it.
A little bit more. You go whisk it in a second, okay?
Okay, that is enough. Yes, that much seasoning. Yes, that seasoning.
Slowly. There you go.
Oh!
Now that our cream is hot, we're going to start adding our cheese.
Can I just get a lot and then do like this? Okay. See? Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. See?
Easy, walking squeezy. And I'm done. Mommy, the cheese. Ooh, yummy. That looks cheesy. Macaroni.
Yeah.
Hey,
You got to dump it in there.
Wow. And what? No, it actually looks like macaroni. It looks like big macaroni.
Taste test. Everybody get a little spoonful. Just a little bit. Mmm. I'm glad we only eat this.
I'm weak.
Anything else?
It is amazing.
We're going to add some at the bottom of this.
Yeah. Whoa, it's so huge.
Grab some good like this.
Yo, that looks like a croissant. I like cheese, Mommy.
You like cheese?
And macaroni. And big macaroni.
And baked macaroni.
I'm gonna eat all.
Make sure you spread it a little bit, okay?
Okay, I'll put it.
There you go. I'm going to put it in the oven until the cheese melt on top, and that's it, okay?
And we done?
And we done. Lord, give me the strength. You guys did awesome. It's hot, right?
I bad booty.
Child, never again. You want some? Nope. Alright, bye.
Stovetop mac and cheese. Creamy, delicious, and easy to make. And if the mac don't sound like that, send it back. Let's get to work. The difference maker in this mac and cheese is, of course, grating your own cheese. Yeah, it takes a little bit more time, but it really lends to the creaminess of your sauce, and it's definitely worth it. Now, if you've never heard of shell bows, they're life-changing. Add them to a pot over medium-high heat with just enough water to cover and chicken bouillon. Then, season with salt, garlic, onion powder, black pepper, and paprika. Stir occasionally and allow stock to reduce, like so. Next, add in heavy cream. Mix to combine and continue to stir as your pasta comes to a boil. You want to cook your pasta according to the packaging for al dente. As your pasta is cooking, your sauce is thickening. Once it can coat the back of a spoon, it's ready. Lower your temperature to medium-low and stir in your cheeses. I decided to use 3 different cheeses: mild cheddar, Colby Jack, and Parmesan cheese. Continue to stir and add in a couple tablespoons of unsalted butter. Keep stirring. You're almost there. Your sauce is getting real nice and thick. And just like that, you've made the best stovetop mac and cheese. It has the perfect texture, extra creamy and full of flavor. This one will quickly become a favorite. You see how easy that was? Now open wide and try this.
Unpopular opinion, but mac and cheese is good with and without the mac and cheese. The only thing that can mess up a mac and cheese recipe is the technique, not necessarily the ingredient. Ain't no right or wrong way to make mac and cheese, especially if your family love it and if you buy the groceries, but please don't post it if the cheese is curdled. First, we're gonna start off by straightening our cheeses, okay? I use a 3-cheese cheddar blend, and I also use smoked white cheddar instead of smoked Gouda. It's so fire, and I'm working smarter, not harder by using an electric cheese grater because, baby, I just came here to eat. I have mine linked in my bio. We're gonna boil our elbow macaroni noodles in some chicken broth because it adds a nice flavor, only until al dente because it's gonna continue to cook in the oven. For our sauce, we're going to melt some butter and add in equal parts flour and whisk until it's golden brown, about 2 minutes before going in with some hot, heavy cream. And stir this on medium-low until it's thickened. We're going to cut the heat and add in a portion of our cheeses, about 1.5 cups. You can adjust the seasoning and cheeses to taste once you add in your noodles. I like mine to look like a sexy Stouffer's, if that makes sense. I add half of my mac and cheese and a little bit of mozzarella in between for a cheese pull, and the top layer gets cheddar. Follow these baking instructions on the screen, and y'all, this was fat as hell. I'm going to be on mac and cheese duty for life, and you will too. Thank me later.
Let me show you guys how I like to make my mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. Absolutely none of that box stuff in this household. We're gonna start out with our cheeses, and for this, I like to use a mixture of mild cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, and Gruyere. Next, we're gonna make a seasoning blend starting with plenty of onion powder and garlic powder, a good bit of cayenne pepper, and last but not least, plenty of smoked paprika. Once that's all prepped and ready to go, we're gonna go into a big old pot with our butter. Once that's melted, we're gonna toast off just a little bit of those spices, and then after a minute or two, we're gonna drop in an equal amount of flour as well. Once that flour's been cooked out, we're finally ready to start slowly streaming in our whole milk. At first, it's gonna look really rough and you're gonna think you ruined Thanksgiving, but just keep adding milk and I promise you'll get a nice and smooth bechamel. Once we have our bechamel, we're gonna drop in more of our seasoning, along with a real hefty pinch of salt and black pepper to taste. And I've actually never done this before, but we're gonna drop in a scoop of Dijon mustard as well. Shout out Teeny, hers is the best for a reason. Now we're gonna completely turn off the heat and start melting our cheese, starting with 2 slices of American. And then it's finally time to start slowly dropping in that cheese blend. And now once our sauce is as thick and beautiful as you, we're finally ready to add in all of our pasta. Once all that pasta is beautifully coated, we're gonna get this tossed up into an oven-safe dish, and we're gonna hit this with another light layer of our cheese blend right on top. And now we're ready to toss this into a 350-degree oven. And now after baking for 20 minutes and broiling for only a couple, we're left with this absolute beauty. And of course, we could never forget to garnish up with some chives. And now just like that, we're finally ready to dig into our mac and cheese. All right, cheers everybody.
This is the only mac and cheese recipe you'll ever need. I promise you it is worth the try. To start, you want to grate your own extra sharp cheddar. Then in a deep saucepan, we melt down some butter. When nice and foamy, introduce some flour and toast. As the roux turns nice and golden like me, drizzle in some milk. Slightly higher the heat and keep whisking until it thickens. Give this a couple minutes and the milk will coat the back of a spoon. Season this down with love. A couple nice hunks of Velveeta go in. And then slowly but surely trickle in your extra sharp cheddar. Instead of salt, use Parmesan cheese. And when it looks saucy and glossy like this, go in with your elbow macaroni. Look at that cheese. We transfer this into a large baking dish, generously cover it with more cheese, and then we bake at 350 for 15 minutes, and the last 5 minutes on a high broil. And as always, now bismillah. I promise you that bite was incredible. Everything about this is just perfection.
Wow. I mean, come on now. Get into this mac and cheese. When I say mac and cheese, cheesy, Thanksgiving essential recipe that we're about to make now is mac and cheese. It's not up for debate. It matters if you buy already shredded cheese or you're gonna shred your cheese yourself. Trust me, when you shred the cheese yourself, your mac and cheese is going to taste completely different. Sharp cheddar, Colby Jack, mozzarella, more Colby Jack. I got pepper jack. I just cannot believe I'm about to sit here and grate all this cheese. This is crazy. Y'all know how long this is about to take me? I'm gonna come back when this cheese is grated, okay? Bye. My arm hurts so bad. So for the mac and cheese, we are about to make a roux. Unsalted butter, add flour. We're going to whisk this for 2 to 3 minutes. Is this noise? But you're going to like cook the flour with the butter and evaporated milk and to mix that well together. Heavy whipping cream. I'm going to season this up. little garlic salt. And once again, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I need my mac and cheese to have flavor. Onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, paprika for color, nice spice all day, everyday blend, which will be restocking in a few weeks. And we're gonna whisk that together. It's where y'all get to doing the great debate. Add a can of cream of mushroom. You can use a can of cream of chicken, onion, celery, mushroom, whichever you prefer. But I'm telling y'all, add a can of cream of whatever. I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna have a very good creamy mac and cheese. Now you're gonna start adding your cheese. Add it slowly and do not stop whisking. This is how the cheese sauce is looking. That's the cheese sauce. Whew. It's time to add the noodles. The mac and cheese is already cheesy. Okay. The mac and cheese is ready. BRB. To layer our mac and cheese. A layer, a little bit of cheese. Now another layer. Add another layer. Okay, this is the last layer we're gonna do. The mac and cheese is ready for the oven. This is how it looks before even going in the oven. Before we even cook it. This how you know this is gonna be it. Bake this mac and cheese at 400 degrees for 30 to 45 minutes. BRB. Here go the baked macaroni. Good thing that I put it on a baking sheet, because as y'all can see, the cheese was just oozing. How bomb this mac and cheese looks. I want mac and cheese extra cheesy. This is what I mean. This is hot, y'all. A work of art. Let's see. Let's see what the mac and cheese is doing. Wow. I mean, come on now. Mac and cheese is cheesing. Do y'all see how bomb that looks? Wow. Wow. Mac and cheese so good. Get up in here. This is how, y'all see how bomb that looks?
Some of the best dynamic duos, you got Kobe and Shaq, Alicia Keys and her backup singer on Diary, and now this seafood mac and cheese. Get your water to a rolling boil. Add some salt on it. Some large macaroni elbow noodles. Gonna let this boil for about 7-8 minutes. Gonna drain this out real quick. A tablespoon of some unsalted butter, hickory smoked Gruyere, pepper jack cheese, some mozzarella, chipotle Gouda. I know this is a little bit of an arm workout, but look, please don't get the pre-shredded BS. Like, it comes out so much better this way. Half a stick of unsalted butter. Add your diced yellow onion in. Got roughly chopped garlic on in. And a quarter cup of some all-purpose flour. Get that flour well incorporated. A cup and a half of some evaporated milk. And 2 cups of some heavy whipping cream. Get this with a little hot sauce, pinch of mustard, Old Bay, smoked paprika, a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of kosher salt. Turn the heat off so that way the oils from the cheeses don't separate while we're doing this. A little sour cream. Get some of that cheese mixture from earlier. Now we're gonna save about half. Some of this roasted red bell pepper cream cheese. I want a slight cheese pour at this point. Ooh. All right, so our noodles from earlier. Add a little bit of cayenne. Get some crawfish tails. We're gonna add in some raw, large peeling these veined shrimp that we cut up. So get about half, spread it out. Half of your remaining shredded cheese mixture. Come through with more mac and then spread out more cheese. Top it with some raw but seasoned shrimp and some paprika. 400 for about 20 minutes and it's gonna be ready. And with that being said, I bet you can't name a harder dynamic duo. And the ingredients will be in the caption as always.
Let's make some ooey gooey mac and cheese right in the crock pot. Start with halfway cooked pasta. My box said 10 minutes, so I bowled mine for 5 minutes. Then add a whole stick of butter and mix that around until the butter is melted. Add in 2 cans of evaporated milk, 2 cups of whole milk, 4 cups total of cheese. I'm using 3 cups of cheddar cheese and 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. Then season with garlic powder, onion powder, dried mustard, salt, and pepper. Top it with half a block of Velveeta and then cook it on high for 2 hours or low for 4 hours. Mix that all around and serve. It is so delicious and so creamy. Enjoy.
Let's make a creamy and cheesy mac and cheese.
We're going to begin by cooking our macaroni in boiling salted water until al dente. And just make sure that you constantly move it around so they don't stick together. Once we have cooked the macaroni, we're going to drain it and set it to the side. I'm going to be using the same pot. Just make sure that you dry it. To that, over medium heat, we're going to be melting our butter. Okay, to our butter, we're going to add all of our spices along with our 5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Mix it together and allow it to cook for about 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we're going to whisk in our 3 cups of heavy cream along with our 2 cups of milk. We're just going to whisk and allow this to thicken up. Okay, after 5 minutes, our sauce should have thickened up. So now we're slowly going to add our freshly grated cheese. So add all the cheese and just allow it to fully melt. Alrighty, and just like that, we have our cheese sauce. Okay, so we're going to turn it off and get ready to add the macaroni. And you can stop here and get ready to serve it just like that, but I'm going to take it to the oven. So I got my oven preheating at 375 degrees. So I already got my greased baking dish. Just going to add half of my macaroni. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle it with some cheese. Okay, add the rest of the macaroni and cheese on top. And top it with some more cheese. Okay, so now we're going to place it in the oven and allow that cheese to melt. So between 15 to 18 minutes. Alright guys, and once we pull our macaroni out of the oven, we're going to allow it to sit for 5 minutes before we get ready to serve.
Let's make something out of nothing. Today we have some baked mac and cheese. This is part 2 of the Thanksgiving series. I'm here to show y'all how to make the star of the show. I promise y'all are gonna love it, and it's easy to make. First, heavily salt your boiling water, then add in your macaroni noodles and cook that for about 10 minutes or until al dente. These are the cheeses we're using today. It's gonna help give you the perfect balance of flavor in the cheese sauce. Be sure to grate the cheese fresh. It's gonna taste better and melt better. Now we're going to keep this simple. Shake up your evaporated milk cans, add them to a sauce pot, and turn the heat on low. Hit it with a little adobo, throw in some black pepper, a touch of smoked paprika, then grab that shredded cheese, add it into the pot, and stir it consistently until it goes from this into something thicker like this. Now add all your macaroni noodles to the bottom of your baking dish and pour that cheese sauce all over the top. Give it a good mix. Make sure everything is coated. Pour a little evaporated milk on top. Give it a good cheese shower. Then bake that at 350 for about 20 minutes. Then broil until nice and golden brown. It should come out looking just like this. I hope y'all enjoy. All right, y'all.
Yes, that's what that baked mac and cheese is supposed to sound like. Y'all know I live in my kitchen. Let me get y'all right real quick with an easy, simple recipe. First thing first, you're going to get you a pot, fill it up with water. Once that water starts to boil, add some salt. Now the cheeses we're going to use, we're going to start out with Velveeta, Gouda cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, and Colby Jack. Now once all your cheeses is shredded up, you're going to take your Velveeta cheese and you're going to cut it up into cubes. Once that's done, we're going to start on our noodles. We're using elbows. Add them noodles to the pot. Make sure that you continue to stir so they do not stick together. Once your noodles is all cooked, we're going to drain them out. Now you're going to get you a large mixing bowl. You're going to pour your noodles into that bowl. Break up sticks of butter and just throw them right in there. Now for the seasonings, we're going to add some black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, not too much, and some Creole seasoning. And season to your liking. Now we're going to add our Dijon mustard and some heavy cream. And then mix everything together well. Once that's all mixed up, add you some shredded cheese. Once you're done adding the shredded cheese, you're going to add all your Velveeta cheese. Now you're going to mix that all together and make sure it's mixed well. It's very important. Make sure them noodles is covered. Now you're going to preheat your oven at 375. Get you a pan and butter it down. Now add your macaroni into the pan. Once the macaroni is added, you're going to add a little bit of your shredded cheese at the top. Pop it in the oven. Let it bake for 10 minutes. Once them 10 minutes is up, your cheese going to be melted like this. Now you're going to mix everything together. Mixing well is very important because look how good that look. Nice and cheesy and we ain't even done. Yes, real good. Now you're going to add the remaining of your shredded cheese to the top. Make sure the pan is covered. Sprinkle that paprika all over it. All right, now once that's done, you're going to broil that at 475. Pop it in the oven. And we only going to broil it for 10 minutes.
And yes, when you see that golden crust, you know that's that baked mac and cheese you want to be eating. All right, we got one more step and you about to eat. You gonna take that pretty parsley, you gonna sprinkle that all through there. And yes, when your baked mac and cheese make that sound, you know it's about to hit. Enjoy.